After I copied the question and annotated the key words from least to greatest, I will use the same strategy that I used in the last problem, a number line. So I am going to draw a number line, and in the middle, mark 0, because I have both negative and positive numbers. To help me get started on my number line, I am going to plot -1, -5, -10, and on the positive side, to the right of 0, I am going to write the same numbers, 1, 5, and 10. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my first number, which is a fraction, -9/8. Because the numerator is greater than the denominator, it's an improper fraction, and I know that this will be bigger than a whole. To help me understand this fraction, I can turn it into a decimal using long division. So I'm going to take it down here. I'm going to rewrite -9/8. And when I use long division, the 9 will go inside the house, the 8 will go inside. And now I have to think, how many times does 8 go into 9? That is once. 8 times 1 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. I have a remainder of 1, so I can add a decimal here and a 0. I will bring down the 0, and now I have a 10. Before I think about how many times does 8 go into 10, I am going to rise the decimal. And now think, 8 goes into 10 once. 8 times 1 is 8, and I have a remainder of 2. I can stop here because all I want to know is approximately what decimal is -9/8. Because this is a negative, I need to make sure that I write negative here as well. So it's approximately -1.1. So that's going to help me understand where I place my number on the number line. So I start at 0, and I'm moving to the left because this number is negative. It's -1.1. So I know it's going to be further to the left of -1. I reach -1, and I'm going to move a little further left, but not too much, not passing -5. So this is where I write -1, 1. Or I can write -9/8. Okay, and I'm going to circle it. That way I remember that this number is one from my list. Okay, now my next number is 11. I know 11 is positive, and it will be to the right of 0. It's going to be past 5, further to the right than 10. It's going to be around here. So I'm going to go ahead and write 11 up here and put a circle around it. My next number is -9. Because it's a negative, it's going to be to the left of 0. So let me start at -1. I know it's going to be further to the left. It's going to pass -5 and not past -10. It will be in between -5 and -10. right before I reach negative 10. That is where negative 9 goes, and I'm going to circle it. Okay, now my next number is negative 3. Again, because it's negative, I know that when I start at 0, it will be to the left of 0. So let's start going to the left. We come upon negative 1, and I know it's going to be further to the left than negative 1. I'm going to continue going. It's going to pass the negative 9/8 or negative 1.1 and stop right there because it is not going to be past negative 5. So I'm going to go ahead and plot negative 3 here and put a circle around it. Okay, so let me zoom in here so that you can see what we have so far. My last number is 7, and it's positive. So when I start at 0, I will be moving to the right. Moving to the right, I'm going to pass 1. I'm going to continue moving. I am going to pass 5. Continue moving, but I am not going to pass 10. 7 is in between 5 and 10. And so it's not too bad. That's a number that we've been working for almost all of our lives. Okay, so I have now plotted my 5 numbers. I am ready now to write them down in a list. So remember, we're going least to greatest. Any negative number is always less than or smaller than any positive number. And for that reason, I am going to start with the negative numbers. And remember, the further to the left of 0, the farther away from 0 a negative number is, the smaller the value. So I am going to go ahead and start with negative 9. And to make sure that I include all the numbers in my list, after I write negative 9, I'm going to cross it out. My next number is negative 3. I'm going to cross it out from the list and write it. My next number is negative 9/8. Go ahead and write that. Negative 9/8. Cross it out from the list. I continue moving. I reach 0, past 0. The next number that I plotted from my list was number 7. Go ahead and write 7 and cross it out. My next number is 11. I'm going to write 11 and I am going to cross it out. So this is my final answer. Negative numbers all the way to the positive numbers, least to greatest.